I want to welcome everybody to another Grip-Birkman Coaches Cafe as we're going to talk about our new website, the Grip-Birkman website. And I just to launch this as fast as we can. I do want to ask Steve, if you will pray. Get us Steve Hope with a word of prayer.
Let's do it. So, Father, we love you. Thanks for this fellowship we have really around the world. Thanks for your goodness and your grace in calling us to be co-workers with you. We don't take that lightly, but we consider it a huge privilege. So today, would you grace us with wisdom and discernment in both understanding these new processes? I pray you would just strengthen and encourage the men and women that have been working on it to improve these processes for our coaching and delivery, really quality coaching to our church and mission leaders. So we invite your presence. Would you just invade this space and really make it a community despite our distance, even though we are virtual? And may we just experience true fellowship at a distance and enjoy one another's presence, as well as what you're doing in each other. For it's in your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Steve, and thanks to all of you that are joining us live for this Coaches Cafe. Some of you that will be looking at this right now in a recording, if you just want to start off by saying if you have questions, you can always write to us on the leadership team, as that is on the website, or send your questions to support@grip-birkman.com. And if Anadon doesn't have the answer right handy, she'll pass it on to someone who can get the answer for you, and we will be happy to respond back. So those of you that will have questions or comments or contributions to make for the improvement of the website after this session, please let us hear from you, because we do want to keep improving. The website is by no means where we want it to be, where we expect it to be, but it's at a good place for us to at least get started. And so doing that, I'm going to share my other screen with you, let you see. Somebody give me a nod of a head or something. Can you see my opening web page there? You're welcome to open yours up as well. You will have to log on and possibly put in your new password. There will be some instructions coming for that if you have not already received that. All Grip-Birkman coaches should be able to log on. But even if you don't have to log in, you can follow through a lot of what I'm going to be showing you right now without having to log in. Of course, the new web page is there. There's a neat little video from John Blake, our leader, I'm a team leader for Grip-Birkman. I'm not going to let the audio, well, you may be able to hear some of the audio. And let's see if that's going to work. When I'm sharing the screen, the video may not come through fully. We'll be able to see about a 2.5 minute welcome from John there.
Welcome to the Grip-Birkman website. My name is John Blake, and I'm the leader of a wonderful community of people seeking to catalyze the body of Christ to live in unity with the Savior.
So I'm not going to let that whole thing go. We're just going to say there it is. That's a major part of what you will see.
We believe that everyone.
There's also the little video that some of you have already seen, I'm sure, the little whiteboard video that's an introduction to Grip-Birkman, talking about how a Grip-Birkman coach can help someone who's interested in getting started off here. And then, of course, just some introductions to the assessment, to the community. A lot of times there will be learn more, those kinds of things on those pages. And right off the bat, if someone says yes, they can go to next steps, which we'll talk about placing an order. There's another video from John here related to how to place the order. And there is some explanation about who can order what right off the bat with the next steps. Anyone can order LeadershipGrip online. If they say, I'd like to get started with this, I don't necessarily have a coach, someone introduced this website to me, or I just found it on internet search. If they would like to do a LeadershipGrip report, they can do that, order that directly off the website. And then, of course, everything else requires a coach. If you want to do the basic Grip-Birkman report, or if you want to use the signature report, For those reports, you are going to have to have a coach, and it will say what level you can do with that. The basic Grip-Birkman, here are the things that are included in that. The signature report, all the things that are included with that, which is, of course, only adding the Birkman components. And if someone does want to order, then they're going to have a coach. But there is a way for them to then click, and I don't see that button down there on this screen, but there should be a button down there that you click for next, moving ahead. There's more about the assessments that's available there. And then I'm going to go back to, well, once the person has started their inventory, they can check their progress by clicking on the My Progress. And of course, this looks similar to what you've already seen with the LeadershipGrip website. We're not using that website any longer at all. Everything is here, and this should be your one-stop shop for everything through the new Grip-Birkman.com website. So you'll be able to see your progress as an individual. You as a coach will be able to check on people's information there also. You can see I've got my information that's there. I can go and look at my spiritual gifts and see how I've answered those. There's the opportunity to reorder. Click and drag. I'm clicking and dragging there, and if I decide, you know what, leadership really ought to be at the top instead of exhortation, those two were in a tie. I had a four-way tie when I did my inventory. As I'm going through, perhaps getting more information from my, here's what I think of you, as people are responding to that with my 360 stuff, then I can always click and drag. We did discover last night, Susan discovered that the click and drag does not seem to work if you're using an iPhone or an iPad. It does work on the computer. That's a little glitch that we're going to have to work on. If someone is only doing this with a handheld device, it'll be a little bit more difficult for them to reorder things, but they can do it on a laptop or a desktop computer. And then you see there, reset the custom order. If I have changed the order in this in any way, then all I have to do is hit that reset button, and it's going to ask me, am I sure that I really want to reset my order? And then boom, it will have saved that order that I have made now with my gift. And of course, the same thing would be true for each of the other, the team styles and the bodybuilding roles. By the way, I can see how I answered the specific questions, what came up to that. And when you're in the coach mode, you'll be able to see these. I'm not sure, and Ken would have to answer the question for us. I'm not sure if the client is able to see the questions as well, but I think they are, because that would help them to break a tie. And I see, Susan, you've joined us now. If you get audio, do you know, was the client able to see those changes, the specific questions there also?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, I was able to see those when I did the test the other night. Okay,
good. So if the client has questions about, well, here I've got this tie, like I've got a 23-23 tie between Let's Be Careful and Let's Go, I can go and look at the questions. Those are the 5 questions that feed into Let's Be Careful. Here are the 5 questions that feed into Let's Go. And I can let that help me to break the tie. Which of these do I really think is more like me? This is more important when you do have a tie, and especially if someone gets as many as 3. The one good thing, though, is from now on, when they take the inventory, when they take the questionnaire, the LeadershipGrip questionnaire is now a 5-point scale and not just a 3-point scale as it was before. That will help to break more of the ties, because if you just put a 3 in the middle, sometimes that will be true, but you've got a 4 or a 5, you've got a 1 or a 2, and that should help to break the tie, and we won't see quite as many of those. We can move on to the next, and I can see bodybuilding roles. It's going to be the same as I'm looking at these functions. We need to change the language on there. I just see that. As we are looking at the same exact thing, you can see the breakdown of the questions. And a lot of times for you as a coach, seeing that breakdown of the questions can help you as you're coaching the person through. They're saying, you know, I'm just not sure which it is. Well, let's go look at these questions and talk through them again and see how you answered them. See if that's really true. Let's talk about how you were answering this question. Once in a while, someone is answering the question coming from another perspective than the way we intended for the question to be viewed. And so it can help as you're talking through with them what was their understanding of why that question was answered the way it was. And of course, you can go on then to see your summary, and if you have changed the order of any of those, you see the new summary that would come up for you this way with your report summary. And then if you want to see the full report, you click there, and of course everything is looking just the same as it has before. The one new thing about it is that when the person receives their report, they are supposed to get they're supposed to get included with the report the description for all of the gifts, not just the gifts that they had on their list. That's going to be a change that is coming. I think that Susan, when you got your report the other night, it did not have that, right?
That's correct. It was not on what I could see on the screen, at least. I'm not sure if there would be a PDF report that would be different. I did not see one.
Okay, yeah, it should have, in the printed report that you received by email, it should have all of the gifts in it. One of the things that we discovered was, for example, if someone had reordered their gift and now they didn't have the new definitions, but also as they are in a team build, it's important for them to see all of the definitions of all those 15 gifts that we are assessing as they are looking at their fellow teammates and they're giving input to them in a team build. So that will be in the report that you receive in the printed report. Again, it may not be right now, but it will be as we're getting all the bugs worked out. And of course, you see the different descriptions that are there. So all this comes when you're looking at my progress with my report. It should also tell you when you're in the middle of an assessment where you are, how much of this you have completed. And of course, if you're going on to do the Birkman, after you've completed your leadership grip, there would be a button that would send you then on to your Birkman to complete that questionnaire. And then let's come back to
Larry, Steve, just a question.
Yeah, Steve, go ahead.
Are the coaches the ones that will inform them how to navigate, or is there going to be now a general email coming to all report takers on the availability of this and how to navigate it?
Yeah, they'll get the basic same instructions that they've been getting in terms of how to do the assessment. There's still an email that comes, of course now it's automatically generated, but there's a basic overall overview email that comes to the individual as they are preparing to take their assessment. You as a coach may want to give them more instruction than that, just, you know, something you want them to do in terms of preparation for it. But yeah, there is instruction that comes automatically as soon as you enroll them. I just had someone to do one yesterday, excuse me, and she got the email with the PayPal invoice, paid the PayPal invoice, got the email about how to do her assessments. She completed both of the assessments last night, and I got the reports last night, right after she finished them. So I think it's going to be working pretty smoothly. If not completely seamlessly yet, it is working toward being seamless. So when you come to some of the other things that you will see here, another page that's more of an introduction to Grip-Birkman, just for the person who is wanting to see us, what are we? There'll be some more instruction for them there. something about Grip-Birkman's history, including some history from Paul Ford about how he and Dr. Birkman got together. And there's a link out here to go out to Birkman's story. If you want to know more about the Birkman, then there is the timeline of how Dr. Birkman developed and progressed in the development of the Birkman method. When you go to our overview, just a little bit of introduction to the more mechanics of what is your leadership grip and what is the Birkman method, what makes them work together so well. And when we talk about uses, that I think is something that has been on the old page, our old website as well. So I won't go into that. As we have more groups joining us, we hope to add more logos of organizations that are using the Grip-Birkman more extensively. And if your organization is not showing up there, get us a logo, and we would love to have that endorsement there as well. And what I know a lot of you would be wondering about, where do we send someone to find about their dotted diamond? Well, we have a dotted diamond page. That is the I just completed my assessment page. And so after the person has completed their assignment, we ask them if they want to have more information about dotted diamond on their own, they can come and read this. We've got the explanation of the fans, which even coaches sometimes still have some trouble understanding the range of the fans. That'll be the subject of another Coaches Cafe coming up real soon, as we talk about how do you help to discern the range. But while you are here, I'll just give you a quick hint. I often tell a person, imagine that your diamond is at the center of the Birkman map. If your diamond were at the center of the Birkman map, these are the directions that it would move in from the center. Now, where is your diamond? And keep that direction in mind. For evangelism, it can go somewhat toward people, but it goes basically upward. And a lot of times, most of the time, it's moving toward task because there's a task to be completed in evangelism. Exhortation, on the other hand, has a lot more tendency to go either toward people or toward task according to the need of the person that you might be working with. So just explain to them that the range of the fans is not that their range is that wide, it's that the possibility of where their diamond is could be in that range of possibilities. And there is the video from Dr. Paul Ford with his tactile PowerPoint description and explanation of the dotted diamond. I often send people here to say, let Paul explain it to you. No one can explain it to you better than he can. And a lot of times people come back and say, okay, now I start to get it. Now I begin to understand after they have seen that video. From the training side, some descriptions for people who want to become a coach, and what's expected and who to contact if you are interested in becoming a coach. If you're interested in becoming a trainer, information about that, including some information about signature certification and what that involves. By the way, a reminder that signature training is required to become a Grip-Birkman coach trainer, but it does not necessarily mean that everyone who goes to signature training will become a Grip-Birkman coach trainer. It is one of the requirements, but it does not automatically mean that you will become a trainer. A lot of coaches are coming to signature training just because they want to get deeper into the Birkman and they want to be able to order the signature reports with the components. And we have an events page, and it is populated now with a number of events that are coming up. For those of you who are trainers, if you will let Anna, Dawn, or any of us know, let Susan or me or Anna, Dawn know about your event, we will get it up on the page to promote your coach training event. And Though it is not active yet, one of the features that we are working to get active very, very soon is for you to be able to actually register people on our website. So Grip-Birkman will handle that with a small administrative fee. If you're wanting to have a coach's training, you simply send them to this page. They can log in, and you'll see something like, for example, where we have a couple of events that might actually have register now events. They'll be able to click on that and go to a Google Forms page where they'll fill in their information, and then eventually, or not eventually, but immediately, we would be responding back to them then to get them enrolled in your course. Grip-Birkman is not set up to do it yet, but we are working on it, where we'll be able to actually handle all of the funds, all of the administration of your event in terms of registration, and all you'll have to worry about is the logistics on site and preparing to actually do your training event. For those of you that are wanting to know when we are having different event meetings, this will be your place to find that out. And if you forget the address for the Coaches Cafe, this is where you come. You can come and get the information there, or if you missed a Coaches Cafe, this is where you come also to send you to the YouTube channel, where you'll be able to see the recorded cafes like the one that you're seeing right now. So there's a lot of other good information there. As coaches, you might be interested. When you log on as a coach, you'll see up here, log in as a coach. And I'm going to see if that lets me do that right now. I'm in the administrator's site right now where I'm logged in. When you have logged in as a coach, you'll be able to see a number of you'll be able to see your clients and their reports. This has a few bugs in it still, but it is functional. Where you'll be able to see what level of report they ordered, and you should be able to go and see their actual reports right there. So if you click on gifts, then here we are with this test person who did it, and I can see their gifts right there straight from the website if I have logged on as a coach. It's going to take a little while for you to get all of your people in there. And I don't know, Ken will have to answer the question. My understanding, Susan helped me out with this one too. My understanding is that only the people who have taken the assessment from here forward, that only their reports are going to be in there. I'm sorry that we couldn't keep, yeah.
I'm not sure about that. They were trying to get that fixed where they would have the one since, I think, 2017, after we launched the last website update, or the last LeadershipGrip update.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if that's there yet, but they're hoping to get it there eventually.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm not sure either. I know that we had a problem with it at one point, but it is there. It's coming if it's not already there.
So, Larry?
Yes, go ahead.
Say about us uploading, do we do that, or is Ken going to take all those automatically? And
No, it is automatic. When they do their report, it automatically will show up in here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just my question too, I was just looking at the number. When I order, I'm still using the word full Grip-Birkman. Is that going to give me the signature suite, or could you just clarify our nomenclature?
Yeah.
Ordering.
Go back to the next steps page.
Okay.
By the way, Susan, the order now button has disappeared here for some reason. You can see here what is included in the reports.
Larry, just a minute. Someone needs to mute their audio. It sounds like you're in a car. Because we can't hear the presenter.
There we go. Thanks. So ask me the question again, Steve. No, yeah, you're muted. There you go.
I just noticed on another screen that it had several different reports.
Yeah.
Are those going to come from Ken, or are those the ones that we could go in and order, order additionally from the Birkman site, like the suite as opposed to straight signature? I don't remember the difference.
It's according to the level of the report that the person has ordered, and we can upgrade, by the way. So let's say you have a person who has done just a leadership grip, and that's all they have. They don't really have the availability of these other reports yet in their case. So if that person wants to upgrade from Leadership Grip to now do the Birkman, we can do that. It will require a special email from you as a coach. You can't do that one automatically online. The upgrades will have to be done by writing to support. And the reason for that is so that we don't have them do the same report over again. They don't have to do the same assessment over again. So if they have already done the basic, let's say, and they want to upgrade to Signature Suite, well, all you have to do is write to support@Grip-Birkman.com. You'll get an invoice for the upcharge to the other report level. And the person won't have to do an assessment. They won't have to do anything else at all, except pay whatever you're charging them for the upgrade. And you will be able to come in here then and see those different reports that are available for them. So the reports you're going to be able to see for the person are according to the level of report that they have purchased.
Okay, thank you.
We're hoping this is going to really be a one-stop shop. For those of you that are signature trained, we hope you'll be able to see all the reports that you really want to see for the individual by simply coming here. There will be some things that you will have to go to the Birkman site still to do, like name tags, table tents. There'll be some other reports perhaps that you want to see, but we're hoping to have even comparative reports here on available for you. And by the way, we're working very hard to develop a comparative report in your Leadership Grip as well. So that when you're doing a team build, you'll be able to see some comparative reports of who has certain needs of gifts and who in that team has those particular gifts, who needs certain team styles, who has those team styles. We're hoping to have that kind of a comparative report for your Leadership Grip very, very soon. It is in the works.
Yeah, a group report, not a comparative report.
Group report, right. Thank you for that correction, group report. So there'll be some really good things happening with that. Your coach's page is going to be an important place for you to come when you log in. And by the way, your level as a coach is determined by the level of training that you have. And so if you are trained as a basic Grip-Birkman coach, you will only have access to be able to order the basic reports or your Leadership Grip alone. If you are signature trained or beyond, then you'll be able to see all the reports for those people as well. And in terms of your ordering capacity, your level of training will determine what level of reports you can order. That's already automatic in the system. So when you go to place an order, you'll even see, if you're a basic level coach, you'll only have two options that you can order: your Leadership Grip or the Grip-Birkman basic level report. If you are signature trained, then you'll have four choices: your Leadership Grip, Grip-Birkman basic, Signature, or Signature Suite. And then resources. We're including the coach's manual here. The current coach's manual is there, by the way, at Team of Teams next month. We're actually beginning the end of this month, isn't it? We are going to be working toward a significant update of the coach training manual. After you have been trained as a coach, we make the manual available to you because there are things here you want to refer back to. Sometimes you're referring to some of these for team building purposes as well. And so you can download the entire coach manual from this site. And there is also the coach manual by modules. And we've done that because many times you'll want to use portions of this to help you as you're putting together a team build. And so the different modules are there individually for you as well. Or if you're just wanting to review a particular part, then you can download and use that. There are a few exercises right now. There's one exercise, for example, using the insights reports, some really neat things that you can do with the insights reports. There are a couple of more that are coming up that we'll be including here, like we have some new exercises to use with the gifts inventory as well. And there's a reference here for the Coaches Cafe. If just to remind you, we've put that here also. For trainers, there are also similar things there. The coach's training manual is there, and the facilitator's manual is there. Some help for preparing for your coach training. And there's a certificate there. By the way, if you as a coach never received a certificate, you can contact your trainer, and they can come over here and download and send you a certificate for you to print out. You can decide what level of paper and what grade of ink you want to use for your own certificate. There are some sample reports available here too. The sample reports can be good because this is an opportunity, perhaps, if you have someone who says, I've never seen a Birkman, what does it look like? Well, you can come here and download John Q. Public's reports, and you can share those with your potential client to let them see what the reports look like. And you can see here the difference between the basic report and the signature report, as you actually compare those. And almost finally, there are a few of our mugshots up here, just to remind you who the leadership team is that is serving you. A reminder that all of us are volunteers, but it's a labor of love because we believe in what we're doing as Grip-Birkman. We believe in what you are doing as Grip-Birkman coaches. And so if you want to contact any of us specifically, personally, you may do that. We have a Find a Coach page, which is new. We were going to put up photos and blurbs with bio for each of you as a coach if you wanted to be found. But right now we had only a very few people that had sent their biographical information to us when we had sent out the request for that. We felt that it was not right for us to only put 4 or 5 people up there. And we frankly also are wanting to have something of a vetting system where just because someone has been to the training and they want to be up on the website, to be real honest, we want to say you must have, to some degree, have proven yourself as a Grip-Birkman coach before we would have you on the website for reference. However, we have the list of all of our trained Grip-Birkman coaches available right now. And when someone contacts us, we might likely be contacting you if you are close to that person, or we have information about you that might fit what they're looking for in a coach. And so your name might be shared with them if you have indicated that you are willing for that to happen. So watch for this particular page to grow. There'll be some really neat things coming out of it really soon. And of course, there is the that particular email right there. support@gripbirkman.com is the magic email to find the answers to everything you ever wanted to know about Grip-Birkman. Because if Anna Don doesn't know the answer, she will either find it out for you or she will point you to the person that she thinks ought to know the answer. And if we don't know the answer, we'll do everything we can to try and help you find it. So there's pretty much where we are right now with the website, folks. It has been a long time coming. It's not, as I said before, quite where we want it to be even right now, but it is in progress, and we think it's going to be something very useful and helpful for you. If it is not, please let us know. So what I'd like to hear from you now, if you'd like to open up your mics, is any questions you've got about it, or any suggestions of things that you've not seen or heard me mention that are coming, that you would like to say, hey, we really need to do this. We really need this on our website. So share with me anything you've got, please.
So thank you for that. That's good. With the Leadership Grip, the old site had all of the data from previous assessments that had been run. So will that still be available to us, or is that getting closed down? Because if the old data doesn't get ported into this one, it's still going to be helpful for us to be able to access that somehow. I'm wondering what the thought process is on that. Yeah, somehow we're going to make sure, Les, that we do preserve all of those that are in post 2017. Yeah. So anybody that has done their Leadership Grip online, we've got to be sure we got all the bugs worked out of that, but it is still there. And we're not able to port in reports that had been done prior to 2017 because of the change in the questionnaire. Right. And that just prevented us from being able to do that. We had too many apples and oranges that wouldn't mix. I think there were even forms in there. Okay. But yeah, we are going to be able to hold on to that. You will still be able to see those other reports. Perfect. There. Okay, so at this point, then, from an archival point of view, the Leadership Grip page or site is still the place where we're for all the old data. It should be. Yeah, well, I'm in it now, so it's there right now. I just wasn't clear on what was going to be happening with that, with the transitions. Yeah, and it will stay up. It will. To be real honest, what's going to happen is it's going to be a hidden website. Yeah. Things are still going into that, and it will stay active, at least for a while. But it will be hidden. It won't be something that will be pointing you to access it that way anymore. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. That's excellent. Anyone else have any questions, comments, suggestions?
Larry, this is Tom. Are we going to receive the new usernames and passwords to access the new site?
Yeah, when you log on, in fact, this is where I really needed Ken and Anadon to help us. When you first log on as a coach, there should have been an email that went out, but let me double check with Ken, and I'm gonna make my note right there. The note that will go out to tell you how to log on.
Okay.
And if we have it, yeah, Jacob, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I logged on at the beginning of this and my old password didn't work. But if you have your email, then you just click forget password. Grip-Birkman will send you a new password and you can log into the new site.
Okay.
There it is. Great, thank you. So just log in with your email and you'll get an email again from Amazon that'll tell you how to proceed.
Okay.
Perfect. Thanks for that, Jacob. Curtis, did I see your lips moving a while ago, or was that, nope, hang on. There you are, now you're unmuted.
Okay, no, I was just thinking that thanks for taking the time to walk this through with us. I think everything's there. I mean, right now, as I look at it, everything's there that I need. But it's just a matter of time to go through and practice and work through. And so.
That's right. You just need to spend some time playing with it. You know, like anything else that's new, treat it like a new toy. And I would say we're kind of at the break stage now. See what you can do to break it. Because if you can break it, someone else can too. And what do we need to do to fix that to make it more resilient? So yes, by all means.
we will be assigned a new password if we ask for, we have to ask for it to get in. Can we change that password at some point to something we can remember?
I think that's right. I think you ought to be able to go to your profile then. And when you go to your, since I'm logged in as administrator, I don't see it exactly the same as you would, but you ought to have an edit profile opportunity when you log in. And that should give you the opportunity to change your password. I hope that's true, and if it isn't, then we're going to see what we have to do to get it fixed.
Yeah, I don't think so. I didn't see the opportunity to change that password. Yeah. Oh, my wife says no. It's there.
It is there. Okay, great.
Okay.
Yeah, it definitely could be.
Whether it takes our international address or not, I don't know.
And it whatever the email address we have on file may be the one that can be changed. Also, you just need Anadon to help you with it.
Okay,
No worries.
that's good.
She's earning her keep right now.
No doubt.
Yes. Well, let me just say one more thing then, and that is our next Grip-Birkman Coaches Cafe will be coming to you from June 10th, just north of Edmonton, Alberta. We'll be there for the team of teams. We'll have a moment to allow some of you to log in with us for just a moment, just to say hi for a while and drop in on some of the teams. A couple of the teams that we're looking at have some people logging in remotely and helping out with that. So we'll just have kind of a touch base to say hey from the team of teams meeting. Any of you that could join us, team of teams, not already signed up for that, we would really like to have you join us for that meeting. It is going to be a really fun time of working. The equipping team, as I mentioned, is working on updating the training manual. But we're not just looking at the training manual, we're looking at our entire training process, our equipping process. What are we doing to train coaches better? And how do we offer ongoing training events? For example, webinars. By the way, there's a free webinar coming up. You may have seen in the e-blast that went out. John Blake started walking through 10 questions to help any Grip-Birkman do a better job. So 10 questions to help a Grip-Birkman coach and how to address those. That's coming up on September 15th at this very same time slot. If you're interested, go to the website and you'll see information about how to register for that. And you'll then get information about how to log in for that free webinar. We'll be doing a lot more of those kinds of equipping also to try and do a better job of helping you to continue to grow as a coach, and some that are specifically for trainers to continue to grow as well. The connecting team, talking about how to help us stay better connected as teams, coaches. They're looking at all kinds of different ideas about that. And also, what are we doing to better connect with the larger community? What are we doing to let people know what Grip-Birkman is and who Grip-Birkman is? Because, you know, in the great scheme of things in the larger Christian community, we're still pretty much unknown. So that team's going to be working on some of those things. And then our support team is going to be working to say, hey, what do we need to do to provide the support that will help you with the kind of help that you need? And they'll be talking about things like our social media, websites, and how we are attending to questions and needs that come up from coaches. So they'll be looking at all kinds of different things like that. We'll be divided into those 3 teams in work groups for the entire weekend, the middle of the week. And we will also be coming together as a large group to do some sharing between to see how we are influencing from team to team. It'll be a really good team experience, and we hope it'll also be some examples of how to go through the process of beginning and working together as remote teams. So if you're not already signed up for that, please join us. if you possibly can, and if not, watch for possibly being invited to join with these teams with the work that'll be going on after we leave those couple of days that we'll be together there. And with that, unless someone has another question, we've come to the end of this particular Coach's Cafe. Any other questions, comments, off-the-wall remarks, or anything else you want to share?
Oh, Larry, this was incredibly clear and helpful, and it does show us we need to go on and play with it for a while to become natural, second instinct. So thanks so much for all this work, and whoever behind the scenes was doing it.
Yeah. By the way, our web designer, Bosco, is going to be with us at that Team of Teams meeting also. So he'll be hearing an earful about the things that we need to do to do some of the fixes to keep improving it. So do keep those comments coming. If you have any comments at all that come to your mind as you're playing with it, of things that need to be done, send that email to support@grip-birkman.com, and we will get right onto it. So folks, thanks so much for joining us. I hope that you do have fun playing with the website, that it will help and ease your way as you are getting more and more people into the Grip-Birkman, as you're doing team builds, as you're helping to build unity in the body of Christ, and that ultimately that's going to mean that more people are going to know Jesus because we're just working together better, more effectively using our gifts to be who we are supposed to be in the body of Christ. God bless you, and we'll see you next month. Bye-bye.